Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, and I promise y'all there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. It's an easy request. I don't never want to see you leave your family and go to jail. I don't want to see you ever have to put handcuffs on your wrist, man. I don't want to ever have to see you on a bus, man, getting transferred to West Bubble. No telling where you gonna go. I don't never want you to go through these things, man. If you out here getting in trouble, if you out here running from the law, if you out here just doing a bunch of dumb stuff for no reason and it don't equal no money, you need to change your life around right now, man. I don't care what you go do, man. It's going to be better than going to penitentiary, because if you keep doing what you're doing, that's the only trip you're going to take. Now, some of us got to take that trip to kind of tighten ourselves up, pause. But at the end of the day, man, if you can save yourself not to go through that nightmare, I suggest you do so, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger game. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, share, subscribe, let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called Bruh. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time. And I'm letting y'all know right now, man, like, sometimes you just have people in penitentiary, man, that just got a heavy influence over others. Like, you know, regardless if it's in the members section or if it's in the shake, rattle, and roll section, man. Like some people is just weak-minded. Like, some people let anybody come into their life and just compromise everything that they got going on, man, and just screw their whole life up, man. Like, I seen it done a million times in penitentiary, man. Like, that's just how penitentiary is. Like, people like try to become master manipulators, man. Like, they try to do everything in their power, like, to do what they have to do. And sometimes they put energy and strength behind that, man. And it gets even more violent when stuff like that happens, man. So, like, in prison, this is a place you never want to go, because you always see stuff like this going on from individuals. So with that being said, though, we are on Lawrenceville for this, y'all. We are on Lawrenceville. And I can remember being in 40 building for this one, y'all. And it was crazy because, like, this is around the time when I had first got back to 40 building the second time around. So it's like, you know, being in there, I'm trying to get the situation right. This was before I ended up grabbing a situation with my homeboy ended up coming in the pod. So when I first moved in there, it was like that pod was a little different. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The pod was a little different for a lot of reasons. And the reason why I say that is because they ended up moving me in the pod where the dude, they ended up doing that jump with the phone. I'm telling y'all about that when I was on Lawrenceville, man. The prick from South Boston, he was in that pod, man. So if you ever saw that story, go watch that story, man. But he ended up being in that block. So while he was in that block, like, I wasn't so ecstatic. I wasn't really super excited to go to that block. But he was in there. So that made me feel like, man, my luck bad. They sending me in the block with a dude I beat up and I got to go around him. Like, I really didn't want to go there, but I was ready to get out the hole. I thought I was going back to 30, but they sent me to 40. Cool. I ain't got a lot of time left. Right now, I'm feeling like I'm in washed up mode. I'm feeling like it's time for me to go to the crib. I'm feeling like I done ran my course on Lawrenceville, man. I done been up there since 09. It's 2015 game. So I'm feeling like I done put my work in. I done a lot. I had phones and I had routes. But it's about time now to hang the shoes up, man. It's retirement time. So that's how I was carrying it. So I got out the hole and went to that pod. They put me on the bottom tier, like in the 5th cell. That was my first time being on the bottom tier in years. So I'm on the bottom tier in the 5th cell with young boy. it was cool, man. Like, you know, like even though that was going down in there, the cream puff was in there, I still didn't let that affect me, man, because I'm just still trying to move the way I move. Now, I wasn't moving like I usually move as far as trying to get that bag. Like, I just was chilling. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on working out. I'm going to focus on just staying out the way. So that's what I was doing. So it was dudes in the block that I had knew from other buildings. And it was dudes that I knew that I've been bitten with for a while. But this one dude, man, he was from Norfolk, man. I ain't going to lie. I ain't going to say his name, man. We're going to call him Chuck. Now, Chuck was like, he was a dude that kind of was like, he was a short dude. He was older than me, like, but he didn't look old. He was one of those type of dudes. He looked like, you know what I mean? He was way younger than his age, but he's been bitten forever, like, you know what I mean? But not like long stretches of bids. Like, he done been out a couple times, then been back in a couple times. So like, he still had his like, you know, workout body, pause. He still had like, you know, he didn't look old. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I gotta give him his credit. He didn't look old, but you know, he was a little short dude, you know what I mean? But still though, I wouldn't say he was like he was in the way or nothing, but like, you know, even with him being from Norfolk, like I still would kick it with him. I moved to 40 building, like he was in there. So I got cool with him. We was kicking it, but still though, like it was just something different. It was just something about him. Like he was like a real, like I wouldn't say like a scary dude, but like I consider anybody scary that sell a lot of wolf tickets, man. Like I seen him do a lot of barking in the pod and I ain't seen no action. Now I'm not, you know, I'm at a point now where I don't really care about nothing, but still, I'm still like viewing dudes and like, you know what I mean? I'm seeing what he's doing. Like, bro, like Chuck talk a lot of junk, you know what I mean? Like it could be off gambling. Sometimes it's off sports. Sometimes it's just randomly off stuff that people might own, a trade or something like that. It depends, man. But like he slept on the top tier all the way in the top in the handicap. Now, back there in the handicap sales, like I know it sounds crazy to call sales handicap, especially on the top tier, but they have it. Like they have it on the bottom tier, which is the handicap sales are 2 bottom bunks in the sale. It's not 2 stacked up top bunk, a bottom bunk in the top bunk. No, Lawrenceville Dumb Suite, they got a bottom bunk over here and a bottom bunk over here. And since they in the back corners, the sales are bigger. So dudes used to like those sales. Like if you're on the bottom tier, you liable to get in there. And then if a dude end up getting locked and got a wheelchair or something like that, they gonna put them in that sale. They're gonna end up moving you or anything. But on the top tier, sometimes it don't matter because like it's a handicap sale, but like it's on the top tier. So a dude with a wheelchair can't go up top anyway. So I don't know what they was thinking when they made this, when they made that penitentiary, but still it's the same setup. So dudes would love to sell. So the dude Chuck was in the top one in the corner. Now Chuck used to kind of like Horse's roommate. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like when I say Horse, like he used to be really mean to his roommate. Like, I used to always tell him like, man, why you keep screaming on the dude? His roommate was a younger dude that kind of just used to run around, play basketball, just always doing something that requires sweat and pause. You know what I mean? Like every time you see him working out, he balling, he doing something. So like, you know, when he used to come back to the sale, I used to always hear Chuck cursing him out, man, get your butt in the shower, man. Yeah, Chuck always going in on him. So I used to always tell bro, like, yo, you need to stop kind of snapping on bro like that. I said, man, you could be asleep one day, he can do something to you. Like, man, he ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'll drag that little boy, he tripping. Yeah. Chuck used to just go on, but I told you Chuck is a whole lot of no bite game. So like I ain't, you know, I let him do him with that junk, man. That was his selling. Apparently he knows how to handle this guy, so I stayed out of it. But at the end of the day, man, the way Chuck was moving and the things Chuck used to do, I knew it was gonna be a matter of time for somebody to call them bluff tickets, y'all. So boom. Now when you call somebody bluff tickets, you need to be ready at the end of the day, because you got a whole lot of dudes like me that'll just sit back and watch and be like, yo, dude talk a lot of junk, but he ain't, and not saying I'm going to kind of sleep on him for that reason, but you have people that will. You have people that'll sleep on you for that particular reason. But I'm not saying that like that was the reason. I'm not saying that because I'm thinking like Chuck on some soft stuff. I'm just saying like, but before I even seen him do anything, or I never really seen him do anything, like he just really talked too much and it kind of used to irritate me. But still though, he was my guy. I still used to rock with him. I ain't gonna lie. Now, the reason why I was really cool with Chuck, because Chuck didn't mess with no lala. He ain't mess with no lala. He ain't mess with no tobacco. He ain't do nothing. He ain't had no habits as far as on stuff like that. You know what I mean? But he did like to eat meals. He did like to do stuff like that. So me and him used to always collab with the meals. You know, we used to do stuff like that. So the whole time that I was in there, I'm in there like a month now. Chuck been in there a minute slightly. You know, he been in the handicap cell a little minute. So like, I can remember, I don't know what happened. I don't know what had happened, but I looked up one day, we was locking down. So we all in the cell. I told you I'm on the bottom tier, so I got a front room view of, I can just go to my door and look over here, up there. I can see everything, but the bottom tier is still in the way. But when I came to my door and looked, and I knew they was about to count, and I seen Chuck, his roommate, sitting at the table. I looked up, Chuck's door was open, so I'm like, I see the handicap, I'm like, I tell my roommate that's on the cell, I'm I wonder why they got Chuck room on door. He was like, for real? I'm like, yeah. I was like, and his roommate sitting right here at the table. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah, come look. So my roommate hopped off the bed. He come look. He was like, oh, they might be going to the hole then. Then you hear the police, the slider open up. Yeesh. Then you see the police walk in. They got the little joints in their hand that they be using when they count the little clipboard janks. So they walk in with them joints. So they tell his celly, they walk up to his celly. They say something to his celly. And the celly was like, I ain't going back in there. He was like, I ain't going back in there. Nah, I ain't. They was like, well, look, you should at least go back in there until you can let us count. He was like, what I just tell y'all? I'm not going back in there. And then you seen Chuck come to the joint. Chuck come to the joint. He came to like that. Like he can't, because from the handicap joint, he can walk from, he can open his door up and see the stairs, like the beginning part, like where I said the trash can be at. So from his door, he can just come walk right onto the little island of the little the little stairs joint. He walked right there. He got to the joint. He was like, man, you ain't got to come back in here. Yeah, go put him in another cell. Yeah, go put him in another cell. You ain't got to come back in here, man. Matter of fact, I don't want you back in here. So the young boy was like, I ain't coming back in the cell, man. You got it. I ain't coming back in the cell. So the CO was like, they ain't know what to do. Like, they trying to count, like, dude holding them up, young boy holding them up. So they like, this is finished count. So they do the count. They did the count with him downstairs. So they kept Chuck's door open. So the whole time they counted, they had to dip. As soon as they dipped, Chuck come down the steps. When I seen Chuck come down the steps, I'm like, man, he got a lot of balls. Like, they in the middle of a count. He come down the steps with the man stuff. He like this when I see him. He coming down the steps. He like, he a little short dude. He like, he put that jump on the edge of the steps. He like, he went up the steps super fast. Next thing you know, you see him coming back some more stuff. He like, he went back up the steps again. He come back down with his mattress and sheet. He was like, boom. He dropped it on top of his box. He was like, yeah, now, stay out. Yeah, stay out. Stay out. He was super tired. He was like, yeah, stay out. And he walked away. I was like, I'm sitting there watching this joint. I'm like, what is this, a domestic dispute game? So boom. I wasn't thinking, I'm joking, but still though, like, he basically kicked dude out in front of the cops. The cops see what's going on. The police in the booth don't say nothing to him when he bring the stuff down. There's something fishy going on. I'm like, this child crazy. So I'm telling my roommate, he see it. Like, yo, I don't know. It's like, we just holler. He don't need to yell, man. It's like, we just catch him when we come out. So as he standing at the top of the jump, he catch my eye contact. He like, I'm like, you good? You good? He like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm gonna let you come out. He like, all right. So after they count it, police come back in. They grab his celly. They take his celly out, man. That's my word, man. Celly was gone, y'all. So boom. I never really got to find out what happened because when I talked to bro, when we came out later on, I'm like, yo, why your celly check into the hole? He was like, he ain't want to be in here no more. He said he ain't want to be in here no more. So shit, I ain't gonna force him to be in my cell. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm like, yeah, that's wild. So young boy dipped. Young boy was out of there, man. So like, Lawrenceville can be sweet to the point where like, it ain't like Sussex, man. Like Sussex, somebody coming out that hole. Like it be people like, you know what I mean? You gonna catch a run, like you gonna catch probably a day or something like that, and somebody gotta come out the hole. So you never really dolo in the cell like that, man. I'm telling you, man. But on Lawrenceville, it's different because ain't nobody really coming out the hole like that. That's for one. And for two, man, it's like you can catch a little long ride being dolo just on the strength that they waiting for a new intake to get on the compound. So that could be 3-4 days, the end of the week game. If you dolo in the beginning of the week, it can be sweet, man, when you dolo, man. I guarantee you, man. So like that'll happen on Lawrenceville. So when his roommate went to the hole, we used to go up there and kick it. I'll go up there and mess around with the la-la. Like that became like a little hangout because like I told you, it's 2 bottom bunks, everything straight on the joint. So it was crazy, man, because the whole time that he was dolo, man, it's like, you know, like he was chilling. Like he'll let us hit the la-la on the jump. He still was the same Chuck. He wasn't even tripping. So Chuck was chilling. He was loving being in the cell dolo, man. So through this whole little period, like I started going to school. So I used to go to school in the morning time. This is around the time when I'm going to the little, it wasn't school, but I used to go to the little, I forgot, it was like about to go home type of joint. It wasn't a re-entry or nothing like that. But if you was 2 years or less, 3 years or less, if you was 3 years or less, they used to let you go to this class in the school. So we used to go there. Basically, nobody did nothing. The teacher was cool. It was a white lady, dumb cool. We didn't really do nothing, but I used to be in there. So I used to dip in the morning times, man. Time I'm coming from my little program, when I'm walking off the yard, people are still on the yard. So I don't know what was going on, man. I don't know what was going on, but all I know is they had us like in it's a little fence joint. You come out the door, it's a little fence joint. In front of us is the big yard, the whole yard, but they got it split in the middle. So it's the yard right there. The other side of the yard is over that side. So like when I'm at the fence, they got us locked in, but they let us out. So we all right there trapped. And I don't know why they ain't opened the main gate for us to get up out the joint. So I'm waiting to get out if I can go holler at dudes on the fence, you know what I mean? So I'm just standing there, but I like walk a little further down and I can see my pod is on the big yard. So I'm talking to different dudes. Like, yo, we talking, we kicking. I'm like, yo, nah. I saw that cool old young boy. He walk up. He was working out. He was like, hey. He was like, bro, you ain't gonna believe this, bro. I'm like, what? He was like, man, I moved a boy in your homeboy's cell. I'm like, what? I'm like, who? Chuck. He was like, yeah. I'm like, man, you weather. I said, nah, man. He was like, man, it's crazy. He was like, I ain't gonna lie though. He started laughing. He was like, man, Chuck was bucking at first though, Weezy, man, but that boy big, Weezy, man. That's a big boy, man. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, go ahead, man. Like, you gotta understand, it wasn't no boys in the block. There was no boys in the block, man. Not one. Not even one. None was in there, man. But like, to hear that we got a boy in our block, I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't trying to get that news, y'all. So boom. But they gotta get locked up too. So they gotta come somewhere, man. And like, if they gotta make it to Lawrenceville, they gotta come in the block. This is just part of penitentiary. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But it's penitentiary. This is the stuff you gotta go through when you waste your life and get locked up. You gotta go through stuff like this. So nevertheless, as much as I don't like it, I gotta deal with it at the end of the day. Now I'm looking at it like, he don't have nothing to do with me. So I'm never gonna cross paths or none of this stuff with this guy. But on the other hand, Chuck, this dude in Chuck's cell, that's what's really bothering me. I'm like, nah, man. So I tell my roommate, I'm like, so when he in the cell? He was like, man, I think, bro. Like, I don't know. Chuck was bucking at first, but he was like, man, I don't know, bro. I'm like, man, that junk crazy. They finally let us out. I couldn't wait to get back. I get close to the gate. I'm like, man, you weather. You like, man, that's my word, Weezy. That's my word. I'm like, man, come on, bro. I was like, you wildin', man. So I get back to the building. I couldn't wait. They open the door. Door open up. I walk in the pod. I'm like, you can just tell something going on. I look straight up the top of the tier. When I looked on the top tier, I seen the CO. The CO was in our pod at my Chuck cell. And Chuck was standing at the door. And I looked and I seen the boy. The boy was standing like kind of close to the trash can. But he was like this, just watching the whole jump. So when I look, I'm like, I get a good look at the dude. The dude didn't really look like a boy. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, he just looked like a strong power forward in the face. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, he had looked regular. Like, he had looked like a just a regular, like, he could be gay, like, but he just didn't really have that look. Like, his mannerism slightly, when I seen his hand, like, stuff like that, like, I kind of figured, but still though, like, just off first look, I'm like, man, this dude don't even look like a freaking shake, rattler, and roller. I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm looking, and he just standing there, and the CO talking, so Chuck, like, man, Chuck come down the steps, he come down the steps like this. That's where when he see me looking, he brushed away from the CO, he was like, man, Weezy, hey man, this junk crazy, man. Why they trying to put the boy in my cell, Weezy, man? I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. I was like, yo, bro, that's why. You like, they talking about I gotta go to the hole. I'm like, bro, go to the hole. Shit, that's what you want to do. He was like, no, I ain't going to the hole. They gonna move him somewhere else. They gonna move him. So the CO came down the steps was like, look, man, we gonna try to put him somewhere else, man. But like, we might don't have no room. So we don't have no room. Either you let them come in there or you go to the hole, one or the other. So I'm like, that's a crazy scenario. Like, just imagine that though, because you have a lot of dudes that, you know, even though if you somebody that, you know, like I'm for certain that I just like women, you know what I mean? Like, putting yourself in a predicament like that is really a no-go, you know what I mean? So a lot of dudes just stay away from that, you know what I mean? Like, well, I'm not going to sail with them. But usually the guys that go in to sail with them, they usually be the ones that end up shake, rattling, and rolling, y'all. So boom, my word. So he dip out with the CO. Chuck dip out with the CO. We out there talking to the unit manager. Now, the unit manager at the time was a dude, kind of fat old head dude. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was somebody that, you know, they might say got maybe a little bit of sugar in his tank, man. Like, you know, I couldn't really guess it because I used to see him with a wedding ring, but the way he walked and like stuff like that, he kind of did look a little fruity. So he out there talking to him. The unit manager dude is telling him the same play. Like, yo, bro, I can't do nothing about this. Like, what do you want me to do? What you want me to do? And I'm telling y'all, it be scenarios like that. It just be the luck of the draw. It be your turn for something like that to happen. It never happened to me. Thank God. Thank God it never happened to me. But bro out there shooting his plea. So he shoot the plea so much, unit manager dip off on him. He dip from that. He see the sergeant dude. The sergeant dude coming out block and talk to him. He talking to the sergeant dude the whole time. The boys is still standing up there with his stuff, sitting by the trash can. He like on the joint where he can put his back of his arms onto the railing, you know what I mean? Because it's like a little square before you know, it's the stairs joint. So he back of the joint like this, and his stuff still right there. He still ain't going to cell. So the sergeant dude talking to Chuck. He had the brick wall like, and I just looked over at Chuck, and Chuck was like, man, I started seeing him like this was laughable slightly. Like, he don't know, but like, y'all know my cell, I'm in the 5th joint on the bottom, so he right there at the brick, so I'm locked in. And I'm watching him. He like, I couldn't hear what he's saying. He like, man, come on, man. You like that? Come on, man. I'm just like, he a little too happy to have Grace Jones standing at his door, y'all. So boom. What you gonna do though, bro, is the question, man. So I'm gonna see how this play out. Because if it was a situation like this, I seen that happen with my man on Sussex. My man went to the Bing. Like, forget it. Sometimes it's just the worst luck. You gotta do what you gotta do. He went to the Bing. He spin off from him. He go talk to another old head. He spot me and my celly standing by our cell. Me and my celly just standing by the cell, just watching the whole show. Like, he spot us, but he way down there. He start talking to the other dude. He start talking to him. I can see him looking down at us, kind of like, he like. And he start walking like, he start getting closer. I promise you, like from afar. My roommate talking. My roommate like, hey, Weezy, man, I'm telling you, man, like, man, I don't know what's up with you, bro. As he talking, I'm just locked in. He don't even know why I'm locked in. But the whole time like this, as bro walking up, I'm like, could be in his future. I'm like, he won't dare yet. I said one more. Yeah. He get up, he was like, yeah, man, they trying to, you see, man. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, you gonna let them come in and say you? I might have to. They said they ain't got nowhere else to put them, Weezy. I'm like, I ain't even wanna like let them know that my shake, rally, and roll the tuck they goddamn already told on his ass. So I'm like, yo, bro, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. You ain't gotta explain nothing to me. And I made sure I threw that in, pause, so he can know. I'm like, yo, bro, you ain't gotta explain nothing to me. My roommate was drinking some water, he like, he spit the water out like, man, go ahead, Wuzzle. He used to call me Wuzzle. He said, man, go ahead, Wuzzle, man. I was like, man, chill, bro. Chuck was like, what's so funny? What you mean? Like, y'all want to see me go to the hole? That's what y'all want to see? Y'all want to see me go to the Bing? That's what y'all want to see? I said, bro, I don't want to see nothing, bro, except you do the right thing, man. That's it, man. Spike Lee game, man. That's all I want to see. It's Spike Lee. He was like, Spike Lee, huh? I said, yeah, man, do the right thing, man. Do the right thing, man. Do the right thing, man. That's all you. He was like, you think this is a joke. You think this is a joke. I'm like, bro, I don't think it's nothing. You don't have nothing to explain to me, bro. This is your life. You can do whatever you want to do, Chuck, man. I'm not joking with you, man. He was like, he just dipped from us. He ain't even say nothing. He just dipped. He walked towards the steps over there. He was like, he got to the top of the steps. He was like, the boy was right there. He was like, boy way taller than him. He was like, he saying something. He like, the boy like, people say it's locked down for count. Locked down for count. It's count time. Locked down. My word, it came in and said count time. I'm still like this at the door with my popcorn. I'm like, Kush. I'm still looking up there by the handicap. I'm like, Kush. Kush. I ain't gonna do it. Watch. I tell my son, watch. He gonna let him go in the room. My son like, he been gonna do it. I'm telling you, he's supposed to buck earlier. He been fake bucking so long, it's count time. He was like, man, ain't gonna do it. My word, they was about to lock down. They got upstairs to the top tier. I looked, the boy disappeared. I'm like, this joke crazy. My roommate was like, I'm about to get some ice to see. My roommate ran out. He was like, lock down, go to see. He's like, hold on, let me get some ice. My roommate ran out. He was like, he went to the chest that was like way over there. So like way by the bulletin board, by the microwave, all that. He went to the joint. He was like, he looked up. I seen him looking at the handicap. He's like, he got the bag still like locked down. He was like, he came back to the center. He was like, I said, what you see? He was like, man, that nigga shake, rally, and rolling, Wuzzle.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. club. Stay out the way. Mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way. Stand out the way. What you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes.